Hello everybody, welcome back to Vlogalogue. Yes, it's me again. Oh dear, well that's what happens on Wednesdays. Shut up. And this week, we're not really talking about anything. And then there was meant to be a joke here that I wrote about it being vlog and dialogue and Vlogalogue and how that it was meant to be a continuation of everybody else's stuff. But I didn't write that joke and I have to get this video done. So pretend there was a funny joke there. Let's move on quickly. So I have a 4-year-old brother, and my 4-year-old brother is going to grow up to be an evil computer genius. He has like the Wii and like one of those weird kids pad things that they get. And like, I go home and like for Christmas and summer and stuff and get my ass kicked by him. He is 4. He can't read and write, but he can beat me at everything. I mean, okay, he plays Animal Crossing and stuff like that, but he also plays puzzle platformers and crappy kids action games. I don't know if you've ever seen Happy Hour Saloon where there's Lou and his nephew Eric like playing games together, but it's kind of like that. So there's him on one side of the sofa just like ruling at whatever game we're playing, and then there's me on the other side just like balls. And I'm just thinking, because obviously we don't really have an idea. People pretend to have an idea, but we don't have an idea of where technology is going to go in the next 20 years. And it just boggles my mind that at 4, he seems to have mastered various pieces of technology in the house. And if he can keep that up, that sort of interest and ingrainedness of technology being a part of his life, that just blows my mind. I mean, now that my family's gotten over the awkward, ooh, tech is evil phase of the life, and I'm around and making decisions, he's gonna have such an tech ingrained into every stage of his life. And I think that's an amazing... Ow, my finger. And I think that's just an amazing thing. And it kind of scares me at the same time because I'm gonna be obsolete in like 10 years. Working at McDonald's. And movies, okay? Movies? Yeah, okay, I guess we can do movies. I warn you in advance that this could get ugly, okay? But please express feelings and concerns for my mental stability in the comments. But if we really want to get into it, let's get into it. Okay, the movie industry is broken, like really fucking broken. Creativity and originality are just pushed out in favour of explosions and boobs, so you can just market it to the lowest common denominator to get as many idiots in the seats on opening weekend as possible, and you spend billions of pounds on like explosions and costumes and actors and whatever else on a screenplay that would embarrass a high school English student, where movies have to be either sequels or marketed on something, so you end up with just awful films like Battleships. But you can just imagine like this guy who's got a really original idea for a sci-fi film just walking into like, I don't know, the board of directors of whatever company made it and just going, hey, I've got this idea for this really cool thing and it's got a really futuristic navy and aliens and stuff and it's going to be really cool and there's a complicated plot, and then they go, well, we're not going to give you any money. So he goes away and then realises and comes back the next day and he's like, hey, I've got this really simple idea for an action film that will be the summer blockbuster with all the special effects. And they'll be like, I don't know, I get you, but how do we know people will enjoy it? And I'll go, it's based on a board game. Battleships, that was a popular board game. Yeah, it's based on Battleships. Yeah, totally, yeah, based on Battleships. And they're like, oh yeah, people like Battleships. I can show you a graph of how well Battleships has been selling for the past 50 years. Yeah, sure, no, make that film. So then, when the film is awful and nobody goes to see it and everybody gives it terrible reviews, you can go, well, Battleships the board game was popular, so I don't know what happened with the movie. And then the directors and the writers and stuff aren't gonna get bollocked by the company that gave them the money in the first place because they've got their arse covered. It's sickening. Just repackaging and rebooting so you can market the same ideas over and over and over again. And then, you know what the worst thing is? You know what the absolute worst thing about it is? It's your fault. Yes, you. Stop watching all this god-awful shit. The reason they get away with it is because they started to feed us low-grade wallpaper paste. And then we all sat down and went, yeah, this wallpaper paste is great. And then more and more of us kept eating it. And then, why should we be surprised that all we ever get fed now is grey, crappy wallpaper paste? Because they can market it to you bloody idiots and you keep watching. I mean, on the other hand, the movie industry does produce a couple of very good, very thoughtful films once a year maybe. Those few good films do not make up for the fact that the entire industry is devoid of anything. And then the absolute worst thing is that film is a great medium for telling a story, for making us truly empathise and understand a character. Next to games, they're probably the best medium for getting across a message and a story and letting us feel emotions for people that we will never really know because they're made up. Or of course we could make Fast and Furious 6. Whatever you really feel like.